Right, is on. Good afternoon, Chairman Simpson, Ranking Member Pingree, and distinguished members of the subcommittee. I am Verlon Jose, Chairman of the Tohono Nation. I appreciate your dedication to Indian country and welcome the opportunity to testify today. First, respectfully, I ask that you prioritize funding for our roads. There are more than 700 miles of BIA roads on our reservation, and most are dangerous for motorists, including emergency response vehicles, school buses, families, federal personnel. Monsoon flooding can last for months at a time and can completely wash out our roads, stranding members and isolating entire communities from access to essential services. The BIA Road Maintenance Program has been underfunded for years and has a deferred backlog of over $400 million. More funding must be provided for BIA Roads program in FY 2027. Next, I will address the need for water settlement funding. The nation was one of the first tribes to enter into a federally approved water rights settlement, and we are in negotiations to settle our remaining claims. Unfortunately, our water settlement has never been fully implemented because of chronic underfunding. Current Colorado River conditions threaten our entitlement. Annual funding must be made available or the nation and other tribes will never receive full measure of our promised water rights. Federal funding is desperately needed to address our unique public safety challenges. The nation shares a 62-mile border with Mexico, and we work closely with Border Patrol and other law enforcement agencies. We spend our own funds to assist with border security efforts. We would appreciate more federal financial resources to support our efforts. The nation's police are often the first and only responders to criminal activity. But our police work out of a converted 1950s BIA jail that is not equipped to handle modern law enforcement responsibilities. Our detention center is in poor condition. Interior's Office of Inspector General highlighted serious health and safety concerns at the detention facility 3 years ago that have not yet been fully addressed. In 2024, BIA estimated that the unmet need for public safety programs in Indian country was over $3 billion. This is a real public safety crisis. Congress must provide funding to meet this critical need. Greater federal investments is needed for our failing Indian health service facilities. The current IHS deferred maintenance backlog is nearly $1.5 billion. The nation's 60-year-old hospital in Sells, Arizona, is one of the oldest IHS facilities, and it can only handle minor medical issues. A replacement facility has been on the IHS facilities priority list for over 30 years, and yet it continues to receive only limited funding allocations. Congress must appropriate more funding to complete the healthcare facilities on the list in a reasonable time frame. In August of 2020, the aging Phoenix Indian Medical Center was forced to close its labor and delivery services. Those services have yet to resume. Congress must do better to fulfill the trust obligation to provide health care to Native Americans. Finally, more funding for Bureau of Indian Education facilities. Construction is critical. BIE has identified 2 of our schools on its list of facilities in poor conditions. One of those, the Santa Rosa Ranch School, was forced to close in 2018 due to significant safety issues and still has not been replaced. The Santa Rosa Day School, another school on our reservation, is slated for replacement by BIE, but will not be funded until 2028. The poor conditions at BIE schools have been documented for decades. We urge you to provide adequate funding to ensure BIE schools can be renovated and replaced sooner so that Native children have a safe and modern and supportive learning environment. We also submitted our written comments in more detail. Thank you for your time. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Verlon. Appreciate it. Doc?